Good morning. I'd like to thank Chairman Bilrakis for convening today's markup to consider 3 bipartisan bills which supports the needs for first responders and enhance the nation's preparedness. I would like to say a little off the cuff of my comments here that it's been a pleasure working with Chairman Bilrakis and this subcommittee as a whole. I think we do what many people think we don't do here in Washington, and hopefully today by moving forward on these bills we'll demonstrate some of the good bipartisan efforts that are occurring right here in Congress. The Medical Metropolitan Response System grant program is vital to ensuring we plan, train, and acquire the necessary equipment for potential mass casualty events caused by terrorism or natural disasters. MMRS is a relatively small but effective grant program that now covers approximately 75% of the country's population. As the original co-sponsor of H.R. 1411, I believe that we must ensure funding and a continuation of this vital program as a standalone program. Our local responders need this assistance to effectively respond to a terrorist attack using a weapon of mass destruction or even a large-scale health epidemic. I applaud the Chairman's efforts to correct one of the many flaws in the 2012 DHS Appropriations Act and providing freestanding funding for this critical program. The larger lesson should be that when critical Homeland Security grant programs are cut, first responders' capabilities suffer. Additionally, I support H.R. 3563, the Integrated Public Alert and Warning System Modernization Act of 2011, also known as IPAWS. We all know the important role that emergency alerts play in saving lives. This year, alerts assisted in communities devastated by natural disasters, most notably tornadoes in Missouri and also in Alabama. A fully functioning IPAWS system will help save more lives. I would note that earlier this year, during consideration of the comprehensive Department of Homeland Security's authorization legislation, I offered similar language as an amendment, and it was accepted on a bipartisan basis. Finally, I'm pleased that the committee is considering my bill, which is H.R. 1129, which will improve FEMA and state and local governments' management of the Homeland Security Grant Program, as the Chairman alluded to. The Homeland Security Grant Management Improvement Act is the product of recommendations that I've received from many on the state and local level, specifically California and Los Angeles Homeland Security Advisors, the National Governors Association, and building upon a 2009 report prepared by FEMA. The bill addresses 3 primary concerns. First, the bill prohibits FEMA from deciding unilaterally to require that state and local governments spend a specific percentage of their Homeland Security grant on one activity. To be clear, H.R. 1129 does not impact in any way statutory set-asides such as the 25% requirement for the Law Enforcement Terrorism Prevention Program, which I support. It does, however, prevent these critical grant programs from adopting an ineffective one-size-fits-all approach that dilutes the value of Homeland Security grants and restores to state and local governments the ability to identify and address their unique Homeland Security needs. Second, the bill directs FEMA to evaluate whether state and local governments have the resources necessary to effectively manage their Homeland Security grant awards. During these tough budgetary times, it is critical that we ensure that every grant dollar is spent wisely and in a manner that best advances our national security goals. We cannot afford for money to be wasted because of poor planning or ineffective management. Finally, state and local governments have urged FEMA to streamline their grant guidance to avoid significant year-over-year changes that hinder long-term planning and to simplify the application process. To this end, H.R. 1129 directs FEMA to examine the feasibility of issuing a multi-year grant guidance. Again, H.R. 1129 will help our communities with the tools necessary to build Homeland Security capabilities and to be good stewards of our taxpayer dollars. I encourage my colleagues to support this vital legislation. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back the balance of my time.